Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. As happens a lot of times in life, not everything works out the way we had hoped that it would. The video this week was supposed to be the MRE charcuterie video that I was going to put together with my wife DL. We have the meal put together. Unfortunately, due to work stuff and family stuff, it's been really hard for us to be in the same place at the same time long enough to film a video. So I promise you the video thanking everybody for 25,000 subs is going to be coming, but it's going to be next week. So thank you for your patience, and thank you again to everybody who has helped us to get to 25,000 subs. But the celebration video will have to wait yet another week. But I promise you, it will be here next week. So a couple of weeks ago, I took the wife on a trip, and we attempted to make a video about it, but things didn't really work out the way we had hoped once again. And so I had to scrap the video, but in the course of the trip, we happened to be driving down the street and we came across one of these new Family Dollar, Dollar Tree combo stores. And while I've done a video at Family Dollar and I've done a couple of videos now at Dollar Tree, I have not even been inside one of the combo stores yet. So I figured, let's pull over for a minute and go in and see what we can do. So let me introduce to you the Dad Budget Adventures MRE Menu FDT1. Now let me say this about the Family Dollar, Dollar Tree combo. I wasn't impressed. I would rather have a Dollar Tree and a Family Dollar store in the same neighborhood than one that combines the two. Because what I found was the inventory was not the best of both worlds. It was just random selections from either store, and it didn't result in anything all that impressive. I found a couple of pretty neat items in there, but overall, I wasn't thrilled with what I was finding there. I had kind of hoped I was going to go in and find a lot of the really neat stuff like what I found for the 24-hour MRE at Dollar Tree. Hardly any of that stuff was there. I wasn't even able to find some of my favorite things that I get most of the time at Dollar Tree. It really was disappointing to go in and find such a limited selection of stuff in a store that I figured was really going to have some cool items. But I managed to put this together. Well, it may not be the most fantastic MRE I've done. It just goes to show you, I can still build an MRE at the Family Dollar Dollar Tree. And that's really kind of what this is about, right? So let's get in here and see what we've got so that we can get some things cooking. For our entree, I picked up yet another one of the Hormel Completes meals. This is the spaghetti with meat sauce. Now, I've had this once before, and it's not bad. What I've discovered is the tomato-based and the dark gravy-based stuff is not horrible, but the white gravy and potato stuff is really not that good. So this was the only one that they had at that store that looked like something I would actually eat. And therefore, I grabbed this. Now, I know these Hormel Completes get a whole lot of bad rap, but I will say this. One of the good things about them is if you find a menu that you like, they really do have a decent amount of protein in them for the amount of food that's there. So if you're needing something that's going to provide you with energy and calories, they're not a bad way to go. Now, I know a lot of people love the stuff that I can't stand and can't stand the stuff that I love. And that's one of the great things about building these yourself is that you can pack it the way you like it, put in whatever entree you prefer. But as for me, I'm going with the spaghetti. So we're going to get this in the trucker's lunchbox so it can be heating up while we dig into this kit and see what else is in here. All right, next up is our side. And for that, I picked up something that I don't want to say I've been wanting to try it, but I've been needing to try it. I'm not a giant fan of these kind of products. A lot of times they tend to be overly salty and they're really not a great item. But as your mom always told you, don't knock it until you've tried it. So we're gonna try it. And I had a viewer reach out last week and tell me specifically that I need to try this product. What I picked up was the Underwood chicken spread. Now I've had the ham spread or the corned beef spread, one of those, and it wasn't great, but I'm hoping maybe the chicken spread will be better. I've heard good things. To go with that, I picked up a pack of these club crackers, and these come in just this little clear plastic bag, and it's not great. If I needed to, I could repackage these in one of the smaller Mylar bags, and it would probably help a little bit as far as extending shelf life, because as we've discussed before, when you've got this kind of packaging, it's not a great seal, plus it lets light in, but If it's going to be in this bag, it'll be fine with that. But that's just not a package that's designed for longevity. But this did have an adequate shelf life. Speaking of shelf life, if you're curious about the rules that I use when I build my homemade MREs, they're down in the description box below. If you've got any questions about that, don't hesitate to ask. Next up is our walking around snack. And this kind of goes hand in hand with these. Whatever I don't use with the Underwood spread will go with this Jif to go peanut butter. I was really surprised to find this at the store and to find it with an adequate shelf life. Usually when I find this stuff, it's only got about a 4 or 5 month shelf life left on it. So finding this with enough shelf life on it to be able to put it in this kit, that's a good thing. Next up is our dessert. This one I'm kind of happy with because I really like these kind of products. I don't know anything about this brand, and the fact that it was a Dollar Tree, Family Dollar kind of packaging thing. But this is the Brain Freeze freeze-dried candy Rainbow Crunch. Basically, these are freeze-dried Skittles. I absolutely love Skittles, and I love freeze-dried candy. And this new trend of freeze-drying candies that we all kind of grew up on as kids and making them into something even better, I like that. So we've got that for our dessert. And finally, the last item in here is our beverage. For that, I've got this Nescafe Classico. This is a dark roast instant coffee. Nothing else mixed into it. There's no creamer, there's no sugar, there's nothing else in it. Just straight up black coffee. So that's everything that's in our homemade MRE from the Family Dollar / Dollar Tree combo store. So let's start trying some of these items and see what we've got. The first thing we're going to try, of course, is our side for our dinner, and that is the Underwood chicken spread. Let's get in here and see what this is all about. Look, potted meat is one of those things that has its fans and it has people that absolutely hate it. I know people that could live off of this stuff. I'm not those people. But if I find a brand that I like, then it's something that I can absolutely see staying with, because these things really do have a good long shelf life, and you can pack them away in your pantry. When you suddenly find yourself needing something with a little bit of protein, a little bit of sodium, a lot of sodium, then you can go get your potted meat. It's got a strong smell, but it's a surprisingly enticing smell, which is weird for potted meat. I can tell that it's chicken. There's a lot of oil floating in that, but it doesn't smell horrible, which is so weird because usually when you open something like this, the smell is immediately off-putting. It could be that I'm extremely hungry and this just smells really good, but that is not horrible at all. Let's get a little of this out. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to do something. Before I dip my spork into this, I need to mix up my coffee. I don't really want to stir potted meat into my coffee. So I'm starting to learn a lot about these instant coffee sachets. As I review these, and a lot of people are chiming in with their opinions on it, I'm starting to learn more and more about being very careful with the amount of water that I'm putting into this. Because a lot of people are telling me that the amount of water is directly going to impact the experience with this coffee. Because you can definitely water it down, or you can underwater it and end up with an extremely bitter coffee. Let's mix this in. It doesn't smell terrible. It's got a pleasant enough smell to it. Let's stir this in. Now we're going to set that aside and let it rest for a minute while we try some of this other stuff. So let's get back to the chicken spread and see how this is going to be. It's not bad looking. Let's give that a taste. That is an odd texture. It's almost a sandy feel to it. It's really odd. It's very, very salty, but the flavor itself's not horrible. I think if I had to choose from what I've tried from Underwood over the years, that would be the one I'd go with. I don't know if they make a spicy chicken or not, but that would be pretty good. Let's get out our club crackers and let's give this a try. Something always ends up on the floor. Good thing I got a dog, huh? All right, let's give that a try. That salt is still really prevalent, but the cracker helps a little bit. I think I would prefer this on a cracker that doesn't have such a salty profile. I do want to try something though. Speaking of spicy chicken spread, let's do some sriracha. Do you know what I'm going to do first? Put on some glasses. Let's open up this sriracha. Try not to get it in our eye this time. And let's just add some right in here. All right, we got us a cracker. Got us some chicken spread with sriracha. Let's get that on there and see what happens. Cheers. That ain't half bad. I wasn't really sure how the sriracha would work with that, but it's not bad. Let's do another. All right, so next up is our walking around snack, and we use that kind of loosely because the idea of walking around trying to eat peanut butter and crackers in this form Maybe not the best plan, but there's ways to do it. I've always been a huge fan of peanut butter. It's just one of those things that goes so well with so many things. And a lot of times it's things you don't think about. Like, have you ever tried tomato soup with peanut butter in it? Don't turn your nose up. I see you. Give it a try. See what you think. So as far as walking around, if we need both hands, we can do it this way. We don't have to use a spork. We can just scoop it out. And we've got all that peanut buttery goodness. That really is good. Should I? That seems a little weird. But because somebody, if I don't do this, will come into the comments talking about how this is the most amazing thing they've ever heard of, and I should have tried it, we're going to try it. Chicken spread, peanut butter, club cracker. I thought I was going to hate that and really regret it. It wasn't bad. It actually worked pretty well. When you think about it, though, there's a lot of combinations of peanuts and peanut butter and chicken. Chicken pad thai is served with peanuts, so it's not too weird of a flavor combo. But if you don't believe me, I'll do it again. That is one of those flavor combos that you don't taste it all at the same time. The peanut butter is hitting over on this side of my mouth. The chicken spread is hitting on this side of my mouth. So it kind of separates the flavors, but that's a very different flavor. I mean, it's worth trying. I'm not going to say it's the best thing out there, but that was not bad at all. I can see somebody making a sandwich out of that. Peanut butter, chicken spread. I probably won't do that, but or I might. All right, let's give this coffee a try in the official Dad Budget Adventures bling mug. It smells okay. It's not a great smelling coffee. It's a little weak smelling, and I only use just a little bit of water in the coffee. So anyway, let's give it a try. I don't know how I feel about this coffee. It has a strange aroma to it. So when I take a drink and the aroma kind of comes up through my nose, that's a little more off-putting than the flavor of the coffee is. It tastes like a decent coffee, but once the aroma starts coming up, it's just really odd. I think this would be a really good foundation for a coffee drink, but I don't know that I would drink that just by itself. I might mix it in with something else, but this is not my idea of a way I would want to start my day. I don't hate it, but I absolutely don't love it. All right, it is time now to get out our entree and give our Hormel Complete spaghetti a try. After I get another bite of this, with a little bit of that. Ooh, that is hot. By the way, if you're curious about the wooden sporks or the trucker's lunchbox or the Jackery Power Pack, all of those have affiliate links down in the description box below that shows the exact one that I use. Actually, correction on that. Jackery just released a new version of the 240. It does not look like this one, but it's the same essential functions. I don't know if you can get that exact one anymore. All right, let's mix this up a little bit. The spaghetti is very thick. It's very dense, which I kind of like because a lot of stuff like this you get and it ends up being very watered down because they add a lot of extra water so that they can make the proper weight. This one is pretty dense, pretty thick and hearty, and it's kind of a stick to your ribs kind of meal. It's a good aroma. I mean, it smells like packaged spaghetti, but it's not terrible. But let's give that a bite. As with any packaged spaghetti, the pasta is absolute mush. For whatever reason, the Hormel Completes are notorious for way overcooking their pasta. It's one thing when you get canned spaghetti, the pasta is a little mushy. With the Hormel Completes though, the pasta is always to the point where it's just almost absolute mush and it's barely even pasta anymore. But the flavor's there, some of the texture's there, and in a pinch, when you're really hungry, this is gonna be hard to beat. There's a little bit of tangy flavor to it, so it's a little odd. I would not put this in front of a kid because they're probably just going to turn their nose up at it because it's not typical spaghetti. But for adults, I think this absolutely works. And of course, we've got crackers to go with it. Does sriracha go with spaghetti? There's only one way to find out. Let's give that a go. It's not terrible, but I think just a regular old hot sauce would be a lot better. But I'm not going to let the rest of that go to waste. There we go. Yep, that'll work. I will say that the portions of the Hormel spaghetti, there's not a lot to it. If you're a bigger person, got a bigger appetite, Might want to pack 2. Now, Hormel at one point was making I think they called them the Completes XL, which was a bigger portion. And I kind of wish they still had those. I haven't seen them in a long time. I've got one sitting in the pantry that I bought a while back, and I just never did anything with it. So maybe I'll break that one out one day and give it a try. It is a little bit more food. Let's wash that down. And let's get on to our dessert. Brain freeze, freeze-dried candy. I've noticed an interesting trend. A lot of people that were buying the home freeze dryers were opening businesses selling freeze-dried candy. Some were selling them at like community sales. Others were actually selling them online. And now the companies that are making the candy that was being freeze-dried, repackaged, and sent out are getting in that business themselves, which tells me that there's probably going to be a crackdown coming really soon on people that are freeze drying and repackaging those candies. And I hate that because I think that's a great cottage business for people to take something that nobody's thought about and turn it into something that really works. But of course, the big candy companies are not going to miss out on their opportunities. They're going to make that same candy. They're going to sell it for less than those people can sell it for. And then they're going to shut all that down. So let's give this a try. This is our freeze-dried Skittles. Yep, that's definitely Skittles. It's got that aroma to it. All right, let's give those a try. Those are a happy little treat. So that is it for our homemade MRE from the Family Dollar / Dollar Tree combo store. Look, if you're enjoying this content, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you may be aware of all upcoming videos. And don't forget to leave a comment. Tell me what you think was the coolest thing that was in this. And also let me know if you're a fan or you're really not a fan of these combo stores like Family Dollar and Dollar Tree. We've got some really cool videos coming up over the next couple of weeks as we get ready to enter the holiday season. So I'm hoping you'll stick around for that. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. And until the next one, prepare for the world that you live in, not the one you wish existed. And we'll see you around.